The Emerging Landlord Report is really looking at what is happening in the market, how landlords need to change, and how landlords can change to continue operating in the private rented sector. The market is quite fragmented. It is made up predominantly of accidental landlords and investors that perhaps just own one property. At the other end of the spectrum, what we've got are professionalised businesses with strategies in property development and growing property portfolios, and there is a massive difference between how those two sets of people operate within our sector. My view is the traditional landlord entered the market when it was heavily unregulated. There was a massive demand for rental properties, and I think at that time, in order to enter that business, all you needed to do was to pass a credit check to acquire a mortgage. Now the times are changing because the country has become heavily dependent on PRS for the supply of housing. I think it's also been realised that it can't continue to operate in an unregulated environment. Therefore, what we're seeing now is lots of changes in legislation and further taxation, which I believe is by design is to professionalise the sector. What that means is that we have a new breed of landlord that is really considers themselves an investor. They're looking and analysing all the legislation and they're actually seeing it as an opportunity. The traditional landlords are now exiting the market. The new landlord is picking up properties at what they're seeing as discounted prices, but they're entering it knowing what they're stepping into and knowing that they have to be more professional and they have to be wary of all the regulations. So personally, I'm looking forward to a more professionalised sector. I've taken the view that in order for the private rented sector to continue to be a viable place to invest your money and receive a healthy return, that it has to provide a good quality product. It's good for anyone in this country that wants to decide to rent a property. I think the reasons for renting have changed significantly over the last 20 years. So I think historically people would rent a property, it was down to affordability and lack of finance. I think now, especially for the millennials, it's become a thing of choice. And I think if that is going to be a viable choice for any of us in the future, we need to be able to demonstrate and guarantee that a private sector can deliver a quality product. The days of the rogue landlords and the slum landlords are over. Times change and markets change, and in fact I think in any business environment, if you don't change with the market, then your business can die. What landlords and investors need to do is change the way that they're operating, adapt to these changes, and they can certainly still make money.